This is one of an amazing video you will watch for a while now. You see these young guys on the screen, they do so much great projects with their digital skill. They have a lot to share with us. They can run programming, advanced programming, and animation. It's amazing to hear from younger people, especially from Africa. So if you're a fan of innovation, especially among the younger people, I want you to sit back and hear their story.
Good day, everybody. My name is Ijara Nicholas, and I am here to tell you my own perspective of how we started coding. It began on one Saturday evening. My uncle and his family came to our house, and our cousins, they knew how to program with Python, and they had made a very cool game. We were very inspired because we wanted to make games like that too, because we were interested in games. So some weeks later, we got access to our father's black laptop, which was not using much, and sometimes he would on for us hotspots so that we could get access to the internet. At first, we wanted to start learning text-based coding, but it was too complex for us because we were still very young. So we decided to go to Visual Block Coding. Visual Block Coding was a lot easier to learn because it was simple, but Visual Block Coding had some limitations. So after a course of 1 year, 5 months, we began text-based coding. We started text-based coding first, we met an app called Grasshopper. Grasshopper was an easy app that we were using to learn, but at a point it stopped functioning. That app helped us a lot. So we wanted to, at a point I was in JS1 and my brother was in grade 5. In his school, they began a club called Digital Creativity Club, and the teacher was very dynamic, and he knew a lot of things. So one of the things he knew was coding, and it caught our eyes because we also knew coding, and we thought that if we got the help of an adult, it would be easier for us to learn coding. So my brother contacted the man, and we were able to give him our number. He started teaching us a lot of things about coding.
My name is George Jason, and I'm going to tell you how I learned to code in Nigeria. So it all started on I'm not sure of the day exactly, but it was an evening. My cousins visited us with their parents, and they were around 10 and 11 because they were older than us. So they brought their laptop and devices there too, and they started to show us the games they made using Python and Java, all that. So we saw the games, we were very impressed, and we now became attracted to the coding. We now told our father. He now gave us access to his black laptop. He also gave us access to the internet. So we now went to our room and searched coding for beginners. This search term began our coding career. So when we watched an animated video that taught us what coding was, and it told us about text-based coding. So at first we wanted to start with Python, but it was too complex for us because we were still tender at that time. So we decided to just start with Visual Block Coding. And Visual Block Coding, we downloaded CodeMonkey, but we didn't use it to do anything because we didn't even know how to operate it. So we decided to go to code.org. After code.org, we downloaded Scratch and started making games and experiments. After that, we took a course of that took us 1 year, 6 months. After that, so when we finished watching the course, I was at primary grade 5 at that time, and my brother was in JS1. He entered secondary school. When I was in primary 5, there was a club which the owner of UC Wonder started, and I decided to enter the club because I was interested in what he was doing. The things he was doing there included animation, digital, the name of the club was Digital Creativity Club, and he had to do with animation, digital artworks, and programming, and many more things I can't remember. So I joined the club and paid attention a lot and brought my daughter there too. So after some time, after 3 weeks or so, he started to teach us programming. I was so happy because I knew the basics of programming already. and I was thinking that he would just start with visual blog. But when I came there, he started teaching us HTML. So I paid a lot of attention. I started jotting down things, and I was so happy as I was going home. So when I reached my house, I went to my brother because he had already come back from school when he was in JS1, and I told him all the things, everything, and both of us now started experimenting on HTML. That's how we started to learn.
My personal sources of inspiration include, well, one of my role models, Elon Musk, because he is very rich and he is a computer programmer. He's the owner of Twitter, although he didn't actually program Twitter. I just love him because he just gives me inspiration. Even I just dream of going to MIT one day, and anytime I think of this dream, I will be motivated to continue coding. One of my other main sources of inspiration, I see all these children getting world records, like an Asian boy who made a coloring game at 9 years. He's very famous now. Even though I'm no more 9 years, I still have a chance of becoming famous. These are my sources of inspiration. Of course, my parents are not my sources of inspiration, but trying to be professional here, I have lots of sources of inspirations. I just think of them and I feel motivated. I'm like, all right, let's begin this stuff. When you think of all these AI apps that make your life easier, it's a human being that created them too. And I want to be someone that's going to create something that's going to have an impact on the world, just like other people. For example, Mark Zuckerberg, he created Facebook even though he was a school dropout. Of course, I don't have any plans of becoming a school dropout, but I'm motivated when I think of him because he is very famous for creating a very global app that a lot of people use.
My main source of inspiration are my parents, my cousins, and UC Wonders, because if not for them, we wouldn't have progressed the way we have. Like, if not for our cousins, we wouldn't have known what programming is. If not for my father, we wouldn't have gotten the resources for programming, and if not for UC Wonders, we still have been stuck in visual blog. So these are my main source of inspiration.
I want to impact on society a global website that not only millions of people will use, but will also change our lives. And I also want to create lots of websites. I want to be a known person. That is why we're striving to work hard like this, because Elon Musk should have started when he was around his teenage years, I guess, but we're starting earlier. And I think we can do something really global if we continue to work hard. I want to impact on lots of lives. I don't want to make not only a social media website we can dance, but a website that can help to change lives.
So I would like to spread programming using a global website so people my age can learn coding easily, especially in Nigeria, because it's rare to find somebody my age programming. And I would like to build a school called Creative Brain School, where students can come there and learn programming and other digital skills. So, and I will also impact the society by making videos on YouTube to help them and make learning programming easier for people my age.
Advice for the youths, especially people my age, is to when something we don't know, we think that we can use AI and learn and get everything about coding, but that is actually very wrong. Like, before I give you the main advice, I would like to tell you a brief story. A time ago, my younger brother was teaching a class of students programming, so he usually give them assignments. At one point, none of them was responding, and then one day like this, a boy came and brought one cool kind of website that after just named for like one day. He brought one website and said he made it. We're like, you can't make this website, it's very hard, that he should give us the code. Now he gave us the code, and this was looking very good. And then we looked at this code very well. Since we knew coding a lot, we looked at this code very well and got something. The part that they're supposed to import something, they wrote example.com, and this is something only AI would do. It was very clear to us that he used an AI app to get this code, but he lied that he was the one that did it. young children like us could easily identify that he used AI to make that website. Is it now AI apps designed to do this exact thing, or adults that will not identify it? Now, if we take our time and learn coding, we can achieve a lot. So, the boy should have thought, why didn't you use AI? Why are we taking our time to learn these things on YouTube? The boy just used AI and we caught him. If this was a job opportunity and they told him bring one of the websites you have made and bring the code, and he brought that code, he will not get the job because they're going to send it and they're going to know he used AI to make it. You need to have motivation. You need to be interested in learning coding because the world is going with technology these days. So my advice to youth my age: stop all this nonsense. Yes, there's time for playing stuff like that. You can use AI for some things, but don't think AI is the answer to everything. You have to learn something, learn it very well. You can use AI to learn, but don't take credit for AI's work because they're going to find out sooner or later. Yeah, you have to learn, but you can use AI to learn. But you have to learn and know it yourself. Because if you're giving a physical test, you can't use AI.
Okay, so I would like to relent a little bit on what my brother said about using AI. Using AI generally is not bad, but like he said, don't take credit at all for what AI did. You can ask AI to generate code for you, and you don't ask it to not generate code. Ask it to explain the code, so you'll be able to learn from what it did. Let's say you cannot find the course on YouTube, so you ask it to explain it for you. Okay, my advice for youth out there is to visit YouTube channels and download tutorials. Don't use your free time to play. You can play, like they said, all work and no play means Jack it all boy. So you can play, but have time for programming, have time for reading, and have time for playing. Don't waste all your time playing. So you can use your free time, like when you finish the exam, you're on holiday, you can play, you can but you have to make time for programming and make time for other skills that you can do. And so, because the world is going towards IT, and my advice is to learn coding as a young age. So if adults are watching this thing now, tell your children to learn coding, give them the access to internet. So that's what I have to say to youths out.